What's up guys, Dan here, and this is my story, exactly how I went from absolutely zero, how I went from $40,000 in college debt at the age of 20 years old with nothing but an entrepreneurial dream to living my dream life, just being out here, riding this beautiful motorcycle right here on one of the most beautiful roads in the entire world. This is out here in my home, Vancouver, Canada. This is just outside of Vancouver. And so basically, in this video, I'm going to talk about, for all of you entrepreneurs out there, I'm going to tell you guys my story. Everything unfiltered. How I went from zero to making multiple 7 figures a year at the age of 22 and essentially becoming a millionaire at the age of 22. And also changed the lives of thousands and thousands of people, actually tens of thousands of people. Right now I have about 35,000 subscribers. And so my goal, of course, is a lot higher than that. So subscribe to the channel if you guys love entrepreneurship and if you guys really believe in yourselves and if you guys are excited to be able to live your entrepreneurial dream life, being able to buy what you want, being able to do what you want for the rest of your life and achieving your fullest potential. So it all started at the age of, I would say, 18, 19 basically. I knew that I wasn't going to work for someone for the rest of my life. I knew that, just going to school and then doing the 9 to 5, listening to my parents, listening to society was not the right thing to do, because looking at, society, looking at most people, looking at the teachers that I looked up to, and looking at, even my university professors, I'd gone to university or college at the time. And so, looking up to them, I already knew that's not the life that I wanted to live. So why am I being taught, by these people who don't represent what I want to be doing with my entire life? And I just knew that there was more to life out there. And if it wasn't for that, if it wasn't for, young 18, 19-year-old me, I'm 22, I'm still young. But if it wasn't for that, I would not be out here. I would not have, this awesome motorcycle, and I would not be living my dream life. So it all started at the age of 18, 19. I started reading entrepreneurial books. So I started reading Rich Dad, Poor Dad. That was my very first book that I read. Actually, my friend recommended to me. You're probably watching this, but huge thanks to you, because just that one book changed my entire life. And basically, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki talks about leaving the 9 to 5 forever, and basically how selling your time and your life for money, which is what most people do, they work a 9 to 5 for the rest of their life, and they get into massive amounts of college debt just to be able to sell their life for money, and then not go on vacation whenever they want, not have the money, not make the money that they want, right? And basically, they let their potential be restricted inside of them. So that book is written by Robert Kiyosaki, and it absolutely changed my life. And I highly recommend every single person, to read this book. But don't go anywhere yet. There's a lot more to come in my story here. So I started reading this book. So obviously you read one book and then, you get into self-development and you're like, wow, this is actually cool. Like, I have control over my own life. Okay. I don't really know if I believe this stuff. I don't really know, it's kind of skepticism at first, right? You don't know if it's for you. You don't know if you're able to do it, right? Which is, again, we're going to get to this later. Society just fed you a bunch of bullshit from the beginning of your life that you can't do whatever you want with your life. And it's the biggest, I'm telling you, it's the biggest bullshit that, society has ever preached to you. It's the biggest bullshit that you've ever heard. Okay, you can do anything you want. So, my point is that I started reading these books. So Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and then I got to Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and I was just fascinated because all these books made it accessible. All these books were telling me that hey, if I was only willing to believe in myself, I could actually do this. I could actually, be able to live my dream life. I could become a millionaire, right? Although, as far as I can remember, none of my parents, none of my family had ever become millionaires. Actually, none of them had ever, made, the money that they wanted to make. And so, to me, although I did grow up middle class, it was just kind of like, I don't know. I don't know if I can do this. But I started reading all the books, and I read, and meanwhile I was in college, I was studying business. So I was using that time to read the books, right? And basically, I read, and like you guys right now, you might be just watching endless amounts of YouTube videos, right? Just like, billionaire advice for millionaires and billionaires, like you're probably watching like Steve Jobs, Elon Musk, and all that stuff. And that was me, I was in your shoes at the age of 19. And the problem was that I didn't know what to do. I'm like, okay, this is all cool and all. Like, entrepreneurship is cool, but I'm still in school and nothing's changed. And at the time, I had gotten a 9 to 5 job, actually by chance. The company had contacted me on LinkedIn. I made a LinkedIn profile, and so basically, I ended up working for one of the big banks in Canada. And so I worked there very briefly. And at first, I was like, okay, this is cool. Like, I wear a suit and tie to work and stuff, and I have my own cubicle. This is pretty awesome, right? But then I realized slowly, okay, the first 3 weeks were okay. And then suddenly, every single week, whenever I was getting in my car and it was just freezing, It was freezing. You know, I'm from Toronto, Canada. Originally, that's where I grew up. And if you guys are from the East Coast of anywhere in North America, you guys know that it's freaking freezing in the winter. And so just getting in my car in the middle of the winter at like 6 in the morning, right, and having to go and spend an hour and a half in traffic, bumper to bumper traffic, you know, at the age of basically, I was 20, I think, by this time. And so at the age of 20, I was like, this is like ridiculous. Like, I can't, like, I was just slowly, you know, I kind of made myself like push through, and I was like, wait a second, Dan, like, this is what the rest of society does. Like, this is what you're supposed to do. Like, just suck it up, right? This is what you're gonna do for the rest of your life. That's it. And right, how absurd does that sound now? Like, looking back, I was like, Dan, like, if I could tell him, I'd be like, dude, wake the fuck up, like, quit right now. And so slowly, I started to gain more and more motivation to pursue entrepreneurship. And basically, I was reading more books, I was listening to more podcasts. All the free time that I had, I started to value my time, and I realized, like, even talking to people, talking to my family, talking to my coworkers, they were just not, like, a lot of them had broken dreams. You could feel it. A lot of them had already sold their dreams for a meagerly paycheck, and little do they know, like, they're stuck for the rest of their life. And to me, it just saddened me. I was trying to tell people, like, hey, get out, right? But the thing is that I realized, one of the biggest things I realized the most is you've got to help yourself, right? God only helps those who help themselves. And by the way, I do believe in God. You know, you can also say the universe or whatever it is that you want, right? But you know, if it wasn't for, you know, God and faith, I don't think that I would be here right now, being able to live my dream life and being a millionaire and just being able to do this for a living. So, you know, and spread the message. So, I was at this job going every single day. And so basically, that's when I started researching online, like how to make money online. And I had started to see all these YouTubers and all these guys, like, you know, from different parts of the world. I had started to see like all these influencers pop up, and I was like, whoa, like this guy is making like $30,000 a month from, you know, just like selling stuff on Amazon, or like, whoa, this guy's making $20,000 a month from Shopify, and you know, whoa, this guy's making 7 figures a year. I didn't even know what 7 figures a year was at the time, right? And then obviously I learned. So basically, I started to see all these guys doing it, and what I noticed was that none of them had a college degree, none of them had any kind of experience when they started, and they all had a story to tell, and they all basically started, you know, where I came from. So I slowly started to, you know, the gears started to move in my brain, and I slowly started to realize, wait a second, like I literally have nothing to lose, right? And at the time, like I said, at 20 years old, you really have, you know, you're probably in school, and if you're working a job, you can just quit, right? You can just quit and there's no risk. And so I saw that right away. I was like, this is the time right now to pursue my entrepreneurial dream. What am I doing at this job? What am I doing getting myself into debt? I had been paying for school myself, and so, you know, school is obviously very expensive if you're from Canada or in the United States. It's a little bit better in Canada, but it's still extremely expensive. So basically, I started to look for things online. And now there's a little flashback. You know, at the age of about 18, before all of this, so before, like, I think I was just going to university, I had taken a huge road trip from Toronto to the West Coast, and I did this solo, and, you know, none of my friends wanted to come, so I'm like, you know what, you know, fuck it, I'm just gonna go solo. And so I went to all the national parks, and I was basically living out of my car, just traveling the United States. Was always my dream to, you know, go on this massive road trip, because I had never seen the rest of Canada, my own country, or the United States. And so, you know, Toronto, like I said, is on the East Coast. And so basically I just got in my car. I was like, you know, bye mom and dad, I'm going. And so basically, I was on my own for like a month and a half. I was just road tripping, and I went down the West Coast. It was the most amazing trip of my entire life, and I was completely broke. I had some money saved up, but one thing I realized on that trip was that I cannot come back to society, and I cannot just do this for the rest of my life. I cannot just, you know, like function as part of the 9-to-5, as part of, you know, mediocrity. And it woke me up. Like, I was in Yosemite National Park. If you guys have been there or haven't, you guys probably should go. You guys should see it at least once in your life. It's in California. It's the wallpaper, probably, if you have a MacBook. You know, I was literally staring at that view, and I was there camping alone at night and at sunset, and I was like, wow, like, you know, if it wasn't for me going out on my own on this trip, I would not be able to see this probably in my entire life, because I'm going to get into the 9-to-5, and you guys know you're probably in the 9-to-5 right now, or you're heading there, right, without you even knowing it. Basically, you know, you have to request vacation, you have to request time off. It's extremely hard. So basically on this trip, I realized I can't keep doing this. I have to go back home, and I have to change something. And even on this trip, I was researching, like, okay, like, how do people make money while traveling? There's got to be a way. So that was the initial goal, and that's essentially what got me into entrepreneurship. So let's flash forward for a second. So now I'm at this job, at the bank job, and I started to research, you know, ways to make money online, and I started to read more and more books. And then I read a couple books. I read a book that really changed my life called The Millionaire Fast Lane by MJ DeMarco. And essentially, basically, it's a guy who became a millionaire. I think in the 90s, he created a website called limos.com, and he was just a broke limo driver in Chicago. And basically, he just like talks about his story, and he hated the cold weather, and he almost like froze to death one night in his limo in Chicago. And so basically, he said, fuck this. Like, he had this like what's called a fuck this moment, and he says like, if you're an entrepreneur, you're not going to do anything until you have that like fuck this moment. And so he basically just said, fuck this, I'm moving to Arizona. So he moved to Arizona and he went all in on entrepreneurship. And that was so inspiring to me. I was like, wow, the fact that he just went and moved alone, without knowing anybody. And if you guys don't know, Arizona is beautiful. I actually have lived there now, so we're going to get to that part in the story. But it's just amazing weather compared to Chicago or even Toronto. So yeah, I read this book, and this book talked about like scalability, and so scalable online businesses and ways to make money online, because that's how he made all of his money. And he's basically retired, I don't know at what age exactly, but really early compared to the rest of society. And so basically, I'm like, okay, screw this. I'm going to figure out something right now that I can do. I started researching online. So at the time, the summer was coming up, and I was researching like ways to make money online and things like that. So me and my friend, we started a social media marketing agency because I started to see this guy named Tai Lopez on YouTube. And Tai Lopez is probably one of the most controversial marketers that ever exist. I can tell you, at first I definitely thought he was a scam, just like everybody. But guess what? What I realized one day was that everybody who thinks that Tai Lopez is a scam is living a shitty life. Like that's just an observation that I made. And I'm like, what? Maybe this guy has something to say. Like maybe I can just, instead of trying to be negative about it and shut off his opinions, right? Maybe I should just try and understand where he's coming from. So I started to watch his videos, and at the time I had taken a program called the Tai Lopez 67 Steps, which is life-changing. We're going to get to that. And it's just like a series of podcasts where he teaches you the lessons of billionaires and millionaires, and it's 67 episodes, and you can just play it in the car and stuff. And so I got that program, and I also got a social media marketing agency program, which basically taught you, he was saying like, hey, you can start a social media agency because if you're young, you're internet savvy, and basically you know how to run like Facebook ads. It's really easy to learn. And so I was like, okay, awesome. So me and my buddy started, and we chose to pursue a niche, and we chose to do lawyers. And so we got a couple clients, and basically we did it, right? But it was only like a couple $100s a month. But we were like, this is awesome. We're making our own money. Like we're doing this on our own terms. And I could tell by the looks of people's faces when we were like in the lawyers' offices and stuff. They were like, wait, these guys are younger than us, and they're working by like on their own. They're making their own money. So I started the social media agency with my buddy, and basically I quit my job, my bank job. I'm like, screw this. And at the time, the reason I quit my bank job, right, and this is actually my fuck this moment, was I was considering quitting, but I was like, I don't really have any other income, right now, so how am I going to quit my job? Just like a lot of you guys are in right now, the same position, right? So that's why, I know this relates to a lot of people out there. So basically, I requested a vacation because I knew I had wanted to go on a road trip, over to like Burning Man, and if you guys know, it's a big festival, and across Canada, across the United States with my friends. So I already went on a road trip solo, and this time I wanted to do it with my friends. And this was in 2017. This was only about a year ago, last summer, right? So 1 year ago. And so I requested a vacation. I requested it in February, because you have to request time off, and I requested time off. And basically, I requested it for the month of August, and that's like well in advance. It's like February, March, April, May. It's like 6 or 7 months in advance, right? So I was like, they've got to give it to me, right? And it wasn't within my paid vacation, all that stuff. It wasn't like I'm doing something unreasonable. And so basically, I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and I kept asking, like, are you guys going to approve it? They're like, yeah, we're working on it. So one day I come to work. This is like a month and a half later. It's already March. And, I sit at my desk, and I open the computer, and then I get a chat window that pops up. And it's my boss, and he's like, come to the meeting room, like it was meeting room 2, So I went there, and of course you gotta wait like 15 minutes for your boss to freaking, get off his ass and show up, right? And so basically, I'm waiting there, and he's like, unfortunately we're gonna have to decline your vacation. And I'm like, oh, okay, like why? And they're like, due to business need, right? Which is a polite way of saying, fuck you, right? So I was like, wow, okay, I'm quitting. There's no way I'm going to work and not be able to, spend my money, what's the point of making money? That's when I realized this important lesson. What's the point of selling your time for money if you can't even enjoy your life, you can't even enjoy your money? So right then and there, I was like, okay, I was really pissed off. Went back to my desk. I was like, well, what do I do now? And so basically a week later, my boss, he does the same thing. He's like, come to meeting room 2. I go to meeting room 2. Of course, I have to wait another 15 minutes for my, freaking fat boss to get off his ass and get over there. And he's like, he pulls out a piece of paper, and he's like, hey, Dan. And he had to, like, bring someone else. I don't know. It's like corporate crap. You guys know what it is, right? And so he was like, hey, Dan, I've got this paper right here, and on this paper, you were away from your desk for like 12 minutes between the time of like 9:38 and 9:50. You know, why is that? And I was like, oh, like I was in the bathroom or something. Like it was within my break, I think. And so he was like, okay, like is something wrong with you? Like why does it take you 12 minutes to go to the bathroom? And I literally told him, I was like, hey, this is ridiculous. It was like an invasion of privacy. But I was like, I was literally like number 2. Like I was like in the bathroom. Like it was not the short kind of bathroom. So he was like, okay, well, you definitely have something wrong with you and you have to get yourself checked out, because if you keep doing this, we're just gonna, have to let you go. I was like, wow. And that was my fuck this moment. The fact that someone told me that something was wrong with me and something was wrong with my intestinal system, I was like, fuck this, I quit. And so I quit right then and there. I was like, I'm gonna figure it out. And I started my social media marketing agency, got that going, got a couple clients, but then summer was coming up. And me and my buddy were thinking like, hey, like this social media stuff it's not really going up. Like what can we do, right? And we're just like hustling, like, we're just trying to make money, right? We're probably in that position, we're trying to make money at all costs. And so that's when we got the idea of cleaning windows. So it was out of my car. I had a Volkswagen Jetta 2015. I'll probably, get a picture right here. And, it was long enough where you could like put like poles and stuff in there, but not a ladder. Anyway, we figured out a way. We found it on YouTube, just like you guys are learning anything right now. Everybody's learning. We learned how to clean windows on YouTube. And we literally went out. We drove to a neighborhood, like a wealthy neighborhood. And we just, the whole time on my way, like I was just like shaking, because I was like, there's no way that someone's gonna, like give us money for this. Like I was just like, I had this weird like, I don't know, something within me. I was like, there's no way. Like I just felt guilty about taking people's money. And so me and my buddy, we just drove out, and he was telling me like, hey dude, like don't worry, it's gonna be all good. You'll see, we're gonna sell at least one house. And if we sell at least one house, that's it, that's the goal. I'm like, okay, we can probably get one house, but maybe not. That was like my self-doubt getting to me. And so we went, knocked on the door. No, that was my first rejection, basically, sales rejection. And we just did door to door, and we just knocked on doors, and I was extremely nervous, right? Just like anybody would be at the beginning. And, eventually I see my buddy like from across the street. He's like super happy, and he's like running across the street. He's like, dude, I got a sale. I'm like, no way. I'm like, how much? And he's like, $120. I'm like, 120? Are you kidding me? Like we just made, that much money, and we still had to come back and actually clean the windows. But the fact that we were going to make this money was just mind blowing. That $100 was like life-changing money. I would say one of the most life-changing, things in my life, probably the most life-changing money in my life, because it gave me the self-confidence to pursue my own thing and to believe in myself and to be self-reliant, that I could go out there, I could knock on a door, and I could get, some window cleaning sales. So we just kept doing it, and basically we just, we're doing like $1,000 days. Obviously we went to the wealthy neighborhoods, and we actually did a great job. And at the same time, me and my buddy found Amazon FBA. Now, Amazon, if you guys don't know, you guys are probably familiar with it, it's gotten really popular recently. And so basically on Amazon, Amazon allows third-party sellers. So Amazon allows anybody in the world with an internet connection and a product to sell their product on Amazon's platform, essentially leveraging Amazon and the massive amount of customers that Amazon has. So, without paying for paid traffic, without Facebook ads, anything like that. So, all you gotta do is pay for your inventory, for the product, and that's it. Me and my buddy are like, okay, well, we have a source of income. We're cleaning windows, so we're making $500 a day each, so about $1,000 a day. And I still have like videos from my channel at the beginning of my journey from us cleaning windows right here, playing right now. You guys can see just us just cleaning windows. Like it's just looking back, it's just honestly like it's just nostalgic. But we were just hustling out there, and so we took our money and basically put it into our own product, essentially. And so at the time, me and my friend, we were researching online, like we were watching YouTube videos and stuff, like how to make money on Amazon, like how to do this, how to find a supplier, all this stuff. And we split a bunch of courses together because we wanted to have access to the best information, right? And this was last year, so a lot of things have changed. And so my first product, I'm not going to get into my Amazon, my very first products, because there's a video right here. I'm looking somewhere exactly how I went from 0 to 30,000 a month on Amazon. And so basically, essentially, my first product failed, my second product failed, my third product was a massive success, and it only took about 2 or 3 months. And we had started Amazon, I would say, found out about it in March of 2017, and then basically I was already successful, making more money than I ever thought I would ever make, about like 30,000 a month by the month of June. And so we're like, holy crap, we were both successful at it. We were like, let's do this, we're just gonna go. We booked a trip to the Bahamas right then and there, and you can see there's even videos from us in the Bahamas, and we're just like, holy crap, like we're sitting on the beach, we're living the dream. And it only took that a couple months, because we followed an income stream that other people were making a ton of money with, right? And that they all started with no experience, so that means that we could too. And so we were in the Bahamas, we were making like a killing, and so we were just like, this is absolutely unreal, this is like what real life is about. And I was so amazed. And so right then and there, I started a YouTube channel, and I had actually already started while we were cleaning windows, because I knew that one day I'm going to look back just like I am today, being able to live my dream life, being a millionaire at the age of 22. I could look back one day and I could just see that, like, hey, this is where I started from. Like, this is proof for everybody out there that I wasn't afraid of doing some manual labor and really getting dirty to, like, make my dreams come true. And so, I'm so happy that that's there for you guys to see. And so basically, started my YouTube channel, and I was like, okay, this could be another income stream, but also I want to spread the word. I really want to share my success, and I want to show people, like, I didn't understand why nobody else is doing this. Like, the fact that I, who basically dropped out of college, I had dropped out of college by then because I was already making a ton of money from Amazon. I was like, anybody can do this. I didn't understand, and I wanted to share the success. And so at the time, obviously, I was reading so many entrepreneurial books, I was listening to podcasts. I'm like, I have knowledge to share, I have something to say, and I want people to hear it. And so I started the YouTube channel, and I was sharing, and I was creating videos on what was working for me in my own Amazon journey. And I was doing that all that summer, and I was working on my Amazon, launching new products. And just a little flashback here, at the age of 15, I had a YouTube channel, one of the biggest gaming YouTube channels back then, and I was making $1,000 a month in passive income just from ads. So I always knew it was in my blood to do something on my own and to make passive income. I had 50,000 subscribers when PewDiePie, I think, had like 350,000 subscribers. PewDiePie is now the #1 most subscribed gaming channel in the entire world. So basically, I just knew, and I was killing myself from the inside. It was killing me, the fact that I went to college, and I was like, at 15, I was making $1,000 a month in passive income, and now I'm a slave to the 9 to 5 at the bank. So, I just couldn't. My identity was in a clash, and so. Let's fast forward to my YouTube channel. So the YouTube videos started gaining traction, and I was like, this is this is my passion now. This is the perfect way for me to start, becoming an influencer. I noticed at the time that there weren't a lot of young influencers out there, young, guys and girls who were talking about entrepreneurship. And so I wanted to share it with people, because I knew that there was no way that I could let the rest of society just, work the 9 to 5 for the rest of their life. I just wanted to share. I had something to say, for my own journey. And so I started to make videos, and I was consistent with it. Because I'd gotten this from, me working out. So I went from like pretty scrawny kid to, pretty jacked and fit with working out. And, the one thing that allowed me to do that was consistency. So I just took that consistency and I applied it to YouTube and my Amazon business. And so I kept making videos, and, people were loving it, people were watching it, and I was just like, this is awesome. I'm making videos, and it's just incredible. And although, at the beginning, nobody was watching these videos, especially the window cleaning ones, right? Like, I was getting maybe 2 or 3 views. I had like 10 subscribers. Every single subscriber I got, I was like, this is absolutely unreal. Like, I'm so happy. And so basically kept making the videos. And then, I knew that last summer, I was really inspired by that book I was talking about, Millionaire Fastlane by MJ DeMarco. And I knew that I wanted to, I'm not going to spend another winter here in Toronto. I'm going to go and move to Arizona. And so I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do this. I have no idea. Although I was already making money from Amazon, right? But just from Amazon, still, like, if you're a 21-year-old guy, you don't know anyone, and just to go and move is pretty crazy to a different country. So I went and I moved, and I literally waited, and month of October, November, I basically got in my car and I went. So I basically packed my bags and I said, okay, that's it. It's getting cold here in Canada. I'm moving. And at the same time, people were asking me on my YouTube to make a course talking about, my knowledge, sharing my mistakes so that people don't make my mistakes. And so just sharing my whole experience, what's working for me. And I'm like, okay, I can do that. I saw what was out there, and I'm like, I can create an awesome course at an accessible price point that people can go and just learn everything they need to know. And so I did that. I released the course, and it was a hit. Like, bam, it was a hit. It only took a couple weeks for it to gain traction. And fast forward to now, the Amazon Freedom course is now one of the biggest and most successful courses with the most amount of successful students in the entire world right now. So far, over 2,500 students have gone through the course, with many hitting multiple six figures a year, and just absolutely killing it. And I get, every single day, I get success stories. Like, every single day I get screenshots. Dan, thank you for changing my life. Dan, thank you so much. If it wasn't for you, I would be still at my 9 to 5 job, and now I'm enjoying time with my family. So clearly, like, of all ages, everybody's like, the message deserves to reach everybody. And so basically, with the course, with my YouTube, with my personal brand, and then I had also been doing affiliate marketing on the side, and with my Amazon business, I became a millionaire at the age of 22, actually shortly right after my birthday. And so obviously, it's just the beginning. Like, a couple things that I realized once I did hit that 1 million mark was that, like, wow, that wasn't as hard as I thought. And all it took was some consistency and belief in self. And a huge thing that got me to where I am today is the law of attraction. And everything you see here, like this bike, Like these mountains, everything you see here right now, I've visualized it and I've manifested it into my life. And I'm telling you that it's going to be the most powerful thing. I've got videos on it on this YouTube channel, and you know, it's just such a great thing. And essentially, if you believe in something enough, if you visualize it enough, and if you don't let self-limiting beliefs get in it, and you're constantly thinking about it, then you will get it, as long as you take action, because you're going to be pushed to take action. So of course, the road didn't come with, you know, roadblocks. There were so many obstacles along the way, like the failures that I went with my Amazon products, you know, even like cleaning windows. Like those days were rough. I mean, it was fun as hell just working outside, but like, it's like everything, like we were doing everything, and just like there were days where I'm like, I don't want to fucking do this, like this is crazy. And so basically, you know, looking back, I'm so happy that I just, you know, one thing I want to tell you guys is that wherever you are right now, right, you don't have to know how to get how exactly you're going to get to, let's say, if your goal is to become a millionaire, or if your goal is to become a billionaire, or whatever it is. You don't have to know how to get there, as long as you know you will get there. If you know you will get there, the way will unfold. And there's always something you can do today to take action on your goals. Like, it doesn't matter if you literally live, like, I don't know, like under a bridge or something, right? There's something you can do, okay? The universe, or God, or whatever you want to call it, I would say God. God has given you everything you need right now in your present situation to go and to pursue your dreams. So, you know, that's my message to you. And obviously, this is just the beginning. My goals are to absolutely become the greatest entrepreneur YouTuber like to ever exist at teaching, showing people to get out of the 9-to-5, showing people to get away from, you know, the rat race mentality, from mediocrity, and really getting people to go out on their own. And I want to make as many people as wealthy and as happy as possible. So that's my goal, and I know I will get there because it's literally like God's work. So anyway, that is my story. So I mean, just going from like 0 to, you know, multiple 7 figures a year, a millionaire at the age of 22. That's it. That's my story. And I mean, as you can see, I'm a normal guy who just had, you know, a desire, a belief, and a dream, and I acted on the dream. And if you act on your dreams, you will get there too. So yeah, I mean, now I'm living here. I had lived in Arizona for the winter, but now I moved to Vancouver, Canada, one of my favorite places in the entire world. And my home now, as you can see, is just like, it's just incredible out here. And so, you know, I'm just living the dream. And to me, being able to help people every single day through the Amazon Freedom course, right? And by the way, if you're interested in that, if you're interested in being mentored by me in the Amazon Freedom course, the link is right down below. I still have open spots for students. And so basically, you'll get to know everything you need to know to launch a successful and profitable Amazon FBA business and escape the 9-to-5 forever. So, but yeah, at this point, my goals are to become the biggest YouTuber, influencer, entrepreneur, and also by the end of this year to reach 150,000 subscribers. And so that is my goal. And next week I'm launching a podcast, The Dan Bass Show. So I'm super pumped for that. And I'm also getting into a bunch of other income streams like Shopify dropshipping, because I really want to show people the best ways, the real ways, the no bullshit ways to actually make money online and to escape the 9-to-5 and be able to live their dream life. Because in my opinion, every single person watching this video, if you're not an entrepreneur, if you're not working for yourself, you're not going to be living your best life. Period. So anyway, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed my story, and I hope you guys can see that anybody, like, as long as you believe in yourself, it doesn't matter where you're from, it doesn't matter who you are, with the internet and in today's day and age, anybody can go and become an entrepreneur, and a very successful entrepreneur. All right, so go and, you know, just follow your dreams, go out on your own, take the road less traveled. And if you guys enjoyed this video, subscribe to the channel, and then also follow me on social media, Instagram and Snapchat. The links are below. DM me. I'll try my best to answer, although I get a lot of messages, but I will answer. Okay, I promise you. So go ahead and DM me, and we'll talk. And yeah, thank you guys so much, and go out and live your dreams.